All right, everyone. So here is our cover three in quotes play that we could run on defense. It's cover three in quotes because basically the corners on the edge here can basically play short or they could play deep. Free safety here, obviously playing deep middle and covering just the general middle of the field, where even if that's a little bit to the middle. And then we have two short defenders, one of which who could potentially blitz. Um, so basically, the way this could work is obviously, like, so for the corners, like if we have a guy running a deep route here, corner is just gonna be the best person to cover this, so he can lock, right? Obviously, then the only thing we'd be really worried about then is if somebody comes out to replace him, but then that's where the short defender, obviously, that's who he would pick up, and the same thing would apply on this side as well, right? It just makes sense that the corners, if their guy on the outside goes deep, post in or out, whatever, they're the best people to cover him, right? Um, but where this coverage could really help is like, all right, say number two kind of runs like, an out route or whatever, and then number one runs like a slant. This is just where it can get kind of tricky. So I think in here it makes perfect sense, just like for the corner to just be able to sit, right? He can like they can exchange, so he can sees that he has a two coming out to him, and he can just pick that up. And this is I think where we can get some picks, right? And same thing with the short guy. He can just it makes sense for him to cover this number one receiver. The thing here too, though, is at this point it really just becomes man, right? So if they crisscross, like the corner's not just going to sit; he's going to lock on this guy, right? When they're crisscrossing, right? Same it would apply in anywhere else on the field, generally speaking. Okay, I drew these like red arrows for the free safety on these two inside receivers, right? Because they are his immediate threat, right? Like the danger of this is either of these guys running seam routes. In fact, a dribble play that would be kind of scary against his coverage, which would be like if they both kind of ran these like corner routes here, and then maybe like these guys kind of run these sit routes right here, right? That gets really tough to cover because who's covering who here. I mean, in a perfect world, yeah, sure, this short defender is going to get wide and cover this guy, and then the corner can help cover the deep one. But that just seems like really difficult, um, right? And so that would just be a potential weakness of the coverage. But yeah, and then the same thing generally, like I said, would happen here on the left side, so the single receiver side, right? If the corner is seen, um, if this guy runs a slant, for example, and then this guy kind of comes out to him, obviously they can just switch here, right? And then wherever they go after that, they just lock. But then we just have, because of the most dangerous part of the field, the steep middle, the safety just kind of covers whoever's filling that role. Okay. Um, However, I'm going to make a separate video explaining like how I think it would make more sense for us to run a type of coverage like this.